Welcome everyone to my first video. Well, as you can obviously, since it's the first video on the channel. Well, I think I'll call the channel Future Fire Gaming. There won't be actually much gaming. It'll be mostly computer related things. But today, I'll be going through a first build that I'll be covering. There are other builds that I'll be doing. Example, $200 PC build for general build, and then there's gonna be the $800 AMD Nvidia card matchup gaming thing, and there's gonna be the $800 Intel AMD matchup, Intel Intel Nvidia matchup. I'll go through a range of prices and using both AMD cards and chips and Intel chips and Nvidia cards, the usual. Currently, I will not be going through a specific set price range or specific matchup. I'll just be going through my current build for my current PC. This PC in total, without any kind of special discounts, well, except that $20 rebate there and $10 rebate there, would be around $1,329.01. Imagine that, 1 cent. Well, either way, that's not the problem. So, yeah, we'll be going through my current build for my current gaming PC, and it'll just be a general build as it's the first video. So, today we're gonna be looking at an Intel processor, a third-party cooler, a relatively cheap motherboard. I mean, motherboards don't really change a lot, they just come with more accessories the more costly they are. Then we'll also have some Corsair RAM, 2 storage units. One is going to be an SSD, another one's going to be a hard drive. A Nvidia graphics card, a Fractal case, a Seasonic PSU. Oh my god, imagine that, an optical drive. Who uses optical drives these days? I do. I'm just, one of those weirdos who still has optical drives, because, I don't know, optical drives, DVDs. I have lots of DVDs, so, I mean, it's really useful for me. If you don't have an optical drive, no one blames you. Actually, people blame you if you have an optical drive, so, really, it doesn't matter. I will not be including the operating system, because I had to pay for my operating system, but I don't want to be bothered to put that in. You can calculate it yourself, depending. Whether you get Windows 7 or Windows 10 or Windows 8. Windows 8. Oh, man, I don't mean to insult any of those who use Windows 8, but, Windows 8. Really? Then we're going to have one extra case fan for about $20, and an Acer monitor, 1440p, 144 Hertz, 1080p monitor. Okay, so let's start we're using PC Part Picker today. I will be doing other series where I won't be using PC Part Picker. Instead, I'll be going into different sites. I mean, I know PC Part Picker does a pretty good job by itself, but I'll be going into, back party sites. Less reliable sites is what I'm saying, to find cheaper parts for the same price. But that's not today. Like I said, today's the first video, and you're gonna have to accept that I'm gonna be doing my build. And if you don't accept it, go away, because no one likes you. Just kidding. Okay, so let's start. So, I currently bought an Intel Core i5 4690K 3.5 GHz quad-core processor. I bought mine at my nearby Micro Center. Now, I know it's the cheapest one here, but I bought it for, I think it was $219, I think? Maybe. I don't know why. I think it was $219. I could be wrong. Let me check for a second. Mine was, yeah, 200. They ripped me off. I got ripped off. No, I didn't get ripped off. I just bought it too early. So right now it's at $189.99 at Micro Center, and I bought mine at Micro Center too at $219.99 with tax. So it was much higher. Jesus, I think it was 6% tax. So I mean, it's not that bad considering, but it's still bad. Okay, anyway, there are so a Micro Center, it's $899.99. At NCIX US, it's $209. Super Biz, it's $219. aka the price I originally bought it at. And then anything higher than that is a little ridiculous if you could get it at that cheap price. Although it appears that NCIX US is out of stock for the Intel i5 4690K 3.5 GHz quad-core processor. Anyway, my current processor works pretty well. It's a 64-bit processor with an LGA 1150 socket, 4 cores. Yeah. Let's see what else. It has the 22 nanometer lithography. Takes up 88 watts without overclocking. Mine is slightly overclocked. It comes with the Intel HD Graphics 4600, which I won't be using because I have a dedicated graphics card. Huzzah! Who uses dedicated graphics card for gaming? Well, actually, I did for quite a few years. I just used my, I think it was an Intel 4400 HD chipset. That was in my system. Yeah, I just used it for gaming. It was pretty good actually. I got, well, considering it's not a dedicated graphics card, I got pretty good FPS. I mean, I could play games, but I was used to playing games at 30 FPS. So as soon as I got a good PC gaming computer, I was surprised. Okay. Anyway, the i5 4690K processor works well, very well, with the system my system build, as it is in the price range that you're generally looking for if you're going to be using the kind of materials I'm also using, which you got a preview when I was scrolling through everything. So, yeah, it is good. It's really reliable. It doesn't get too hot for me. Well, maybe it's because I'm using the CPU cooler. And speaking of the CPU cooler, I am using the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo CPU cooler. I know. I am really original in my choices. Really original. Well, anyway, it's a really good cooler. I mean, there's a reason so many people use it. It's really good. It's really reliable as an air cooler. It supports multiple sockets, as you can see from this list here: AM2, AM2+, AM3, AM3+, FM1, FM2, FM2+, LGA 1150, LGA 1151, LGA 1155, LGA 1156, LGA 1366, LGA 2011, LGA 2011-3, LGA 775. Anyway, that's it. It's not liquid cooled, as I mentioned earlier. Quite obvious by the fact that it's not liquid cooled. I mean, yeah. It has a different fan speed, noise level. It's pretty quiet. I honestly can't hear it. Could be the fact that I'm always talking to myself, but hey, that's another subject for another matter, for another time. A subject for another time. Okay. Anyway, so the Cooler Master, so the Hyper 212 Evo cools down the i5 4690K very well, especially when I'm overclocking. It cools it down really nicely, keeps it nice and stable, you know, which you're looking for when you're cooling down your CPU. I mean, it's a big cooler. It's definitely a big cooler. Originally, I was going for a Spec 02 case, but then I saw the kind of clearance it had for the CPU cooler. I was like, no. I'm not giving up my Hyper 212 Evo for a smaller case, a cheaper case. I mean, admittedly, it's around $60 cheaper, half the price of my current case. So, but I still think it was worth it. Plus, the newer cases, I mean, the costlier case is much better. Okay, so assuming that my motherboard is compatible with my CPU, which I think it is since it works. I think. I mean, it's been working for quite a while. You have to assume that's an LGA 1150 motherboard, and this time I have taken it from ASRock. Yep, they provide pretty nice motherboards most of the time. I mean, they're not the best, obviously. I mean, some of them are, but the cheaper ones are because they're cheaper. There's a reason they're cheaper, and currently it's selling at $84.98. I think I got it for a little more, maybe $89. I think. Well, I got the ASRock Z97 Anniversary ATX LGA1150 motherboard. So it's an ATX form factor. It's a Z97 chipset, and it's an anniversary version LGA1150, which is the socket type. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it has 4 slots of RAM. So 4 slots of RAM. You understand what I'm saying. It supports DDR3 RAM up to speeds of 3100, which I won't be using, and max memory of 32 gigabytes. I currently don't have 32 gigabytes, but I think 32 gigabytes is a little. I think 16 gigabytes for me is good. 16 gigabytes is good for me. I mean, I don't really use it for anything else that requires a lot of RAM. Not a lot of video processing. I mean, this is my first video, so 16 gigabytes has done well on me. Yeah, and it's a really reliable motherboard for its price. There are other versions from different makers of the Z97 chipset, but I decided to go with the ASRock version. I mean, the BIOS is. It's not the most attractive looking one. Let's just say that. It's not the most attractive looking one, but it's really good. Plus, it's a cheap price, and it's an ATX. I personally like ATX form factor motherboards. I don't know why. I don't like mini ATX that well. They seem a bit hot. I mean, probably not all of them are hot, and then depending on CPU, cooling, etc. But and the size. I like the ATX size. I'm very comfortable with big things. I have big hands, so. I mean, I know that makes no difference at all, but the point is, ATX I prefer. So now to the RAM. We have Corsair Vengeance Pro 16GB sticks, 2 8GB sticks. So, yeah, it's not 4 sticks. Originally, I was going for 4 sticks of 4GB, but after checking it out, I decided not to. And I was originally going for DDR3 1600, which I prefer over DDR3 1866 because in my experience, it's a little more stable in most situations. But this RAM has served me well up to this point. The only party who's selling it at this point, the only merchant, is Newegg, and they're selling it for $90 right now. Well, $89.99. Trying to cheat you out of that, Mental gaming. You hear that? Okay, that was a weird part. Ignore what I just said. We're gonna cut that out. Okay, so price per gigabyte $5.62. I mean it's okay. It's okay. So as a cast of 9, voltage of 1.5. I honestly couldn't trust any RAM that has more than a voltage of 1.5. A DDR3 RAM that has more than a 1.5 volts needed to power it is it's a special RAM. Let's just say that. It's very special. Very special. I chose the black and red version to go with my blue motherboard. Yes. Yes, makes sense. Complete sense. Ignore that if you could. It's not the prettiest setup. Definitely not the prettiest setup. A blue motherboard, a red graphics card, red RAM, and a big-ass CPU cooler. I mean, not the prettiest setup. Let me just tell you that. Not the prettiest setup. Now we're going on to the storage. Now we have 2 storage devices. We have the 1TB that I use for main things. It's a 7200 RPM internal hard drive. It's from Seagate Barracuda. Well, it's a Seagate, but it's a Barracuda version. I know, I'm terrible at this. Anyway, first video. Who cares? And then the solid state drive where we have most of my Steam library, my operating system, most of my things, not my main files, but most of the programs that I need to run everyday things, or that I just want, like CPU-Z, Crystal Disk, which I use to monitor my hard drives, because I'm weird that way, I mean, it's there for a reason, to monitor your hard drive, but I monitor a lot. MSI Afterburner, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so the SSD is 250 gigabytes, and I got it. Yeah, I definitely got it for more than $77.99. It was more than that. Let's see if I can find it. It was quite a while ago. Yeah, it was. It's just been dropping in price ever since. Well, up and down, but it's really dropped in price anyway. It has a SATA 6 gigabyte per second interface. I'm not that good with SSDs and storage devices. I've never been very. Hasn't perked my interest, so I don't really know a lot about it. I'm just reading out the specifications here, so yeah, you have to leave me some leeway. I am new to this. Oh my god, I'm insulted. But anyway, the SSD is really great. It's a really great SSD. I'm probably not gonna get another SSD because then it involves RAID, and I'm terrible at that. Trust me, I'm terrible at that. Now I get to the HDD, the hard drive, the actual spinning disk hard drive. It's 1 terabyte, 3.5 inch. I love the 3.5. Speaking of which, I have a whole shelf of just 3.5 inch hard drives. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous! Okay, anyway. It's ridiculous. I have a bunch of them. Okay, so this one's sold. It's pretty cheap. $45.99. It's reliable. It's good. Price per gigabyte, 0.046. 4 cents. Well, 5. He rounded. But 0. Okay, so it's 4 cents. 4.6 cents. It is really good. Yeah. Lots of people sell it. I mean, yeah. Seagate really does make some good hard drives. They really do make some really reliable hard drives. Now, after that, we have... Oh, this one I got at a cheaper price. Although it's gone down. So, it was originally at $350. But then, one day, I saw it dropped to $319.99. And I was thinking, oh, great, it dropped. And it came with a package of either Rainbow Six Siege or Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Great game. I chose Assassin's Creed. It was the Blades or Knives deal or something around that name. I chose Assassin's Creed, you know. It's not for obvious reasons. That's because Rainbow Six Siege, it's a great game, but it not perking my interest. Not perking my interest. Okay. So, we're going on from the MSI. So, it's a GTX 970 Gaming 4G. It has, you know, the 3.5 gigabytes of space. 4 gigabytes as they advertise it. BS. It has GDDR5, which makes it good. It has PCI. Okay. This is what I don't get. When people ask you, is the card compatible with my PCI Express slot? And yes it is. It's a PCI Express slot. But they said it's generation 3 or generation 2, and that's generation 3. I said, I know. It's compatible, trust me. And then they say, are you sure? Are you sure? And I say, yes I am. So, yeah. It has 145 watts when it's not being overclocked. It has a core clock of 1.14 gigahertz. I overclocked it slightly. A little. I don't want to press it. But the GPU boost really helps it. Let's see. 3-way SLI support. I'm probably not going to take advantage of that. I honestly couldn't. I'll just upgrade to the GTX 980 Ti when it comes out. So, speaking of... I told you the story of how I bought it at $319.99 with the package of Assassin's Creed or Rainbow Six Siege. But you know what happened? A couple days later, I look at the price again after I bought the card, and you know what happens? It's down to $299. I was spiffed. Not in a good way, the bad way. Not in a good way. No. I was disappointed. I got it from Newegg, so they're still selling at $349.99. But that's good. It's a great card, very reliable, very cool, very quiet. But then again, most NVIDIA cards. No. So I take it back. Lots of NVIDIA cards are good and cool and quiet. Some of them are hot. Not as hot as AMD though. You know what I mean? Rebranding their R9 300 series. Ridiculous. But don't tell them I said that. They might not like it. Okay, coming to the case. The case is a Fractal Design Refine R4 with a window on the side, so no fan that's going on that part. It's really great case, removable discs, removable hard drive racks, lots of fan space. I mean, not lots. Sufficient fan space, excuse me. It's sufficient fan space with internal bays. Can fit my board, an ATX motherboard, ATX form factor motherboard. It's all good, really. And let's see, that's all really. Just a good case, a good reliable case. It's not the prettiest thing on the planet, but who cares? Next to the power supply, I spent a lot of time looking into what power supply I should get. And all these people telling me about these Japanese capacitors and etc, the 12 volt rows. I got pretty good at understanding it. I know the lingo. But at the end of the day, it's really who makes the best power supplies. Now Corsair and Seasonic, great ones. Then there's the XFX. I was originally going to go for the, the CMX series from Corsair, or the something, but they're notoriously bad in their capacitors, so I decided, nah, not gonna do it, because who wants to get a brand new system when suddenly everything shuts down and you're going, what happened? And everything's fried because the PSU died. Yep, that's how life goes, folks. Learn and succeed. Anyway, so it's an 80 plus gold power supply. It's really great. Fully modular. Really helps with the whole cable management. Jesus. The Fractal Design case has enough space, but it really has helped that the power supply is fully modular. Now we get to the optical drive. Yeah. Because people still use optical drives. Yeah. No one uses it anymore. I do love optical drives. I still use them. I think it's because I'm a diehard for most things. Yeah, I'm still a diehard. I have a lot of old stuff. I still have a tape recorder. I still use it. It's a tape recorder. I know. But anyway, it's good. It works. I put a DVD in. It works. Plays it. I go. Okay. It's all good. I could get a more expensive one if I wanted. I wouldn't really think I need to. They're just optical drives. Then we go to the case fan, and this one I didn't spend a lot of time looking into. I did spend some time looking into, but not a lot of time compared to other things I've spent my time looking into. It's $19.79 for a case fan. Yeah, not that much time looked into. I just chose a random fan. Be honest with you. Well, no, I didn't just choose a random fan. I chose a semi-random thing. I put some filters when I was looking for. I mean, it's a 120mm fan. That's what I was looking for, really. Anyway, nearly to the end of this long, arduous video. Hopefully I'll get better at this and it won't be as long next time. Anyway, now it's to the Acer GN246HL 144Hz 24-inch monitor. It runs at 1080p. It's very nice. It's perfect for what I need, 1080p, you know. It's not. My system is perfect for 1440, 1080. Depends on the game. Okay. Anyway, my system is pretty good for any game. Up until this point. Most games were running it quite well. Maybe not some games. Some games will just die. But it's pretty great. It's 24 inches wide, not tall. It's not 24 inches tall. At least I hope not. I measured it and it's not 24 inches tall. Just making it abundantly clear to all those who think it is. It's not. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. Yeah, that's really all there is to say about it. I mean, oh geez. Now I just noticed the price. It went down to $199.99. I bought it for $245.99. Why does this always happen to me? I always see prices later on. I'm going, oh my god! How? And no, I did not buy it from the Rectron. I bought it from Newegg, and it was much higher. I suppose so. I suppose so. It has DVI, which the DVI socket with that I'll be using. Yeah, that's really it. And finally, the operating system. This was a little bit of a toughie for me. I was planning on getting a Windows 10, but then I decided, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go with not random. Oh, here's another example of my diehardiness. I still use Windows 7. I mean, a lot of people still use Windows 7, but I don't think I'll ever upgrade my old PC to Windows 7. It's not that I can't handle it. I mean, Windows 10. It's not that I can't handle it. It can. I just don't want it. I mean, I love Windows 7. Great system. I don't see Windows 10 as being much better, especially with all the problems, bugs, privacy. That's another video in the future. Anyway, so the down and dirty. Without an operating system, this PC gaming build, costs $1,329.01. With an operating system, you could just, I don't know, add $100 or so. Let's see, choose an operating system. How much is Windows 10? $84. Just add another $84, and you get $1,414. Pretty good price for the kind of power you'll be getting from it. Of course, if you just took out the optical drive, everything would be much better. But yeah, that's about it for today. I'll be posting the build in the description, so no worries about not finding it if you really do want to find it for some godforsaken reason. But anyway, this is Future Fire Gaming signing off with whatever this build is. I'll call it... I still haven't found a name for it. What should I name it? I was looking for something historical. What could I name it? I know it. We'll call it Besame. You know, you can look it up in Spanish. Anyway, we'll call it Besame. This is Besame build. I'll save it as so. Besame build. Besame Gaming. So yeah, there it is. In all its glory. In all its glory! Well, that's where it lies. Yeah. I've dragged on this ending far too long. Goodbye.